a beautiful day in the nation's capital, FCT Abuja, and this is Good Morning Abuja, coming to you from the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5 Abuja. And I am Gladys Kudamu Vincent. It's good to know you joining today because we have a whole lot for you. Yes, usually we begin with our motivational talk. Yes, but before we begin, please put a smile on someone's face. Make sure someone smiles because of you today. And yes, it will go a long way in putting something good in your pocket. Okay, so that was an advice from me to you, and make sure you do it. Okay, so now our motivational talk. We have this motivational talk on courage. What is it all about? Let's see it.
You got to have the courage. Do you have the courage to act outwardly on what you see inwardly? Or will you die a dreamer? Will you die on the verge and on the edge and in the land of coulda, woulda, and shoulda? Do you have the courage? I'm going to drop something on you. It takes courage to be successful. It is far easier not to be successful. Misery will always have company. Success breeds contempt. If you don't want to make waves, be mediocre. Be normal and fit in. And if you're more concerned about people than you are God, then neutralize everything He put in you. Just fit in with everybody else. Dress like them, walk like them, act like them, eat like them, go where they go, think like they think, do what they do. And once you've neutralized your uniqueness, you don't need courage. It takes courage to be different. It takes courage to go where you've never gone before. For some of you, it took courage to come to this conference. It takes courage to get you outside of the bar. It takes courage to be successful. It takes courage to win. People don't talk about people that don't win. If you win, they're going to talk about you. Do you have the courage to stand there though the storms keep raging and the people get to talking and you stand there and say, I've come too far to turn around? Do you have the courage? I'm going to say something to you. It takes courage to be exceptional. It takes courage to be wise. It takes courage to be rich. It takes courage to be educated. It takes courage to be knowledgeable. Because the moment you do, but you don't talk like you forgot where you came from. Look at you, it takes courage. And I'm just wondering, in this weak, watered down, mediocre society that we live in today, in this reality TV world we live in today, I'm wondering if there's anybody left that's got the courage to say, after all I've been through, and all my ancestors have been through, and all my parents have been through, I didn't come through all of that just to fit in with normalcy. I have the courage to go after my dream. Is there a woman left in this entire Coliseum that's got some courage?
Yes, that was a motivational talk on courage. I'm sure you learned a thing or two from that. Now moving on, it's time to keep fit. We want you to actually be healthy. And part of being healthy is you keeping your body fit. Yes, exercising. You can do it from the comfort of your living room, your bedroom, or you take it out to the next level by stepping out, jogging and wanting. So let's bring to you our exercise segment.
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
Why do I check?
I say, can you be there?
Why do? Yeah.
We go. Hey, hey, let's go.
Yes, that was our Keep Fit segment. If you did not join in, maybe because you're still lying down or you are feeling tired, make sure you do, even if it's just for 5 minutes before you leave the house. You tell the story later in the evening because it's going to make you energetic, lively, and then, yes, good to go. Like, you'll be like, where is this energy coming from? It's just from doing the exercise before you step out of your house in the morning. Now, let's go on this quick break, and when we return, Good Morning Abuja continues.
I don't know what it is, but she drives me crazy.
Marriage, a beautiful bond, but not without its battles. Behind every smile is a story. Behind every I do is a journey. Mr. and Mrs., the show that peels back the curtain on real relationships. No scripts, no filters, just truth.
I've become a better husband because I've learned a lot from the mistake of the past.
I had feelings, but I wanted to be sure.
Do I have to kneel down to marry a woman?
No, but just do the right thing.
Join us every week as we sit down with real couples to talk about the raw, the real, and the redemptive side of marriage. This is more than entertainment. It's an invitation to grow, to heal, and to love again. Mr. and Mrs. is about real love, real struggles, and real hope. Every couple has a story. What's yours? Join us on NTA Channel 5, the Unity Station, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m.
'Cause all of me loves all of you.
Hey friends, welcome to Kiddie's World. My name is Oguntayo Justina.
My name is Amardeus Erison, and today we're going to start off with our usual exercise, and today our exercise is sewing.
If you just joined in, this is Good Morning Abuja coming to you from the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5 Abuja. And yes, this is the part of the program where I have a guest that will be talking about something interesting. And today is no different because we have a guest here that is going to tell us about making, as in turning waste into wealth. Like all of you, maybe including me, that are in the habit of just trashing waste, not even thinking about it, and some even litter it everywhere. The environment is littered with waste. But now we are going to have a new mindset. What am I talking about? How to trash it. As in, you don't even need to trash it now. You gather it in a place to actually make money out of it. Yes. So who do I have? He is Gabriel Onyebulise. He is the head and strategy and innovation person, Chanja Dati Limited. Welcome to Good Morning Abuja.
Thank you very much.
I know the name. I'm sure I got it. I tried it.
Yeah, you tried.
I tried.
Gabriel Onyebulise.
Okay, welcome
nice
to
be
the
here,
program.
Gladys.
Happy to have you. Like when we're talking about this change, is like, you know, people want to, I always say I'm looking for something to do, how to make money. Everything is hard, but this is now you generating what can actually give you money. And then when we talk about recycling, maybe in your own context now, you're going to give us insight to actually tell us more about what recycling is all about, what it entails. Okay. So what is, actually looking at Abuja, what is recycling all about?
Okay, great. So I would try to give a proper description about recycling, then put it in relation to Abuja as well, based on what we do. Yeah. Right. Recycling is beyond, just having waste bins. It's about how you're able to keep resources in circulation, right? Making use of the resources that already exist or have to ensure that you're creating new products, you're able to create jobs from those resources. Because again, when we think about resources, it's just around thinking about what if the resources we're currently using get exhausted, whether food, raw materials.
We don't even think of it, we just know that it's your money that keeps bringing in the resources.
So, but then what happens is, because of population growth, we're using resources or extracting from nature faster than it can replenish.
Really?
Right? So that's one of the major challenges. So that's the essence of having conversations around the circular economy, where these resources, instead of bringing waste to the environment or preventing those materials from going to the environment where they cause more harm, which is very specific to plastics, because plastics are not good for the environment.
Okay.
Yeah. So once those resources, what we see as waste now, take them, how do we retrieve them back into the economy, back into the system as raw materials, just like nature would design, because naturally waste really doesn't exist. If you look at how nature happens, everything that gets back into the circle. So how do we as humans now collaborate with nature, exactly, to have that circular flow instead of the linear process of producing, using, and just disposing? That process isn't a good process because it's not good for the environment. It's harmful. At the end of the day, it's causing environmental issues and problem, and also impacting our health, which is a public health concern as well. So the idea is, how do we create that circular flow? And that's what recycling is. Recycling is even beyond, there are instances again about recycling beyond just even plastic waste. Even in agriculture and farming, you see that you can't keep farming on one particular land. You see, you do this fallowing process where after farming on this land, you move to the next piece of land, move round, so then before you're back again, you see that this one have settled again. There's more nutrients than you. So that's, you know, that kind of process to ensure that resources are well maximized and creating jobs as well in the process. Okay, so now it's two things, because talking of plastics alone, I don't want to believe it's the only waste that can be generated, because even though I know that like a lot, like you have more things in plastic form than any other system. And then we have this leather bags. They are also, because I know of, I don't know the country now that deals with instead of using leather bags, they use something that looks like cloth. The reason is they believe those materials cannot actually, leathers especially, do not decompose or so. But the other one can decompose. And then instead of plastic toothbrush, they use wooden toothbrush. So is it possible now for, like, after recycling, maybe to try and see how to reduce the use of plastics or the use of leather bags? Is it even possible? Yeah, it's very, very much possible, right? Okay, how do we go about it? So it's a phase. It's a phase. So what we do at Chanja Dati is to encourage people first to recycle the one that have been generated. Because think about it this way, when you, from now, or maybe when you wake up tomorrow morning, look at the things in your house that are plastics. Even around us now, look at the things that are plastics. And imagine life without the plastics. Because whether we like it or not, they've really been like helpful. It was a helpful discovery. They are cheap, they are durable, they have different use cases for packaging and helping to improve our daily lives, right? But then it's the use or the afterlife of it that's now important. What do you do, or what do we do after using plastics? So there are different levels of it. Recycling is just one of the process of it. There's the reduce. That's what we're saying, reduce your use of plastics. Because why plastic is a major concern is, like we know, it doesn't decompose in the environment. It can stay thousands, 500,000, 1,000 years, and it's still just there. In fact, the first set of plastics that were made, ever made, are still available. You get? So it's a nuisance. The problem it causes to the environment is way more. It's costing more than its value when in use, right? So you see that it's problematic, and that's the reason for focusing fully, right, or putting that much attention on plastics. What do people do after using plastics, right? That's very important. Then reducing is another process. How do we now start reducing our dependence? Because we have highly over dependence on like on plastic. Almost everything that we have is plastic.
Yeah,
Right?
well, I want to be maybe because it's cheap.
Yeah, it's cheap.
It's
yeah,
cheap.
that's one of the things.
Reasons why.
So because it's a cheap material, it's good for packaging. Exactly. So, but then people now need to know what happens with this. So that's the education that you're not supposed to throw this away. After using plastic, you're not supposed to throw it away. Wow. This is what you should do. Keep it. It should be recycled. Those that are non-recyclable should be sent to the proper place where they are, properly, whether incinerated or, where they are properly disposed of. Right? So throwing it to the environment causes more harm, more problem, and we just keep going back in that cycle and all of that. So we're looking at the phase where we wouldn't be totally dependent on plastics, but it's still I still believe it's quite a long process for us to get to that point of finish line.
But it's possible.
But it's very, very, very possible.
Okay, so now you advised us to actually go back, because I think I encountered someone around last year that actually does this recycling stuff, and since then my mindset of actually trashing things, like no matter what, once I just feel keep it might have use later, even if you don't need it now like immediately, but just find a place, keep it. And then sometimes, because you can imagine storing things for over a year and then it occupies space and then it's like, what's the use again? Okay, why am I even keeping it? Sometimes you might get a use for it, and sometimes some are just there. So what should we do now? Okay, we don't want to trash it anyhow now, so how do we now dispose of those things we have?
Okay, so we've talked about 2 R's already. We've mentioned recycling as one of the R's. We've mentioned reduce. Now you've mentioned the third one, reuse.
Reuse.
Reuse. So that's one thing that you can reuse it, right, for those that are reusable. And that's the reason we always advocate for, there's something called single-use plastics. Those plastics that you can use once and you can't use again. That's for example, that disposable cup that people use to drink, both the transparent and the red cup. Those ones are not even recyclable, right? So we say refuse. Refuse is another R. Refuse. Don't use that at all. Don't use single-use, plastics. Then use plastics that are reusable. So if you can reuse them, that's awesome. Then for the recycling process, for those that can be recycled, not all plastics are recyclable. Right? So for those that can be recycled, the PET. The PET is the normal transparent bottle, like your Coke bottle, your Fanta plastic bottle. That's the PET. The cap, the cover of it, is HDPE. HDPE, that is also recyclable. So the cover and that transparent bottle can be recycled. All you need to do is, any contents in it, you need to rinse it off. It needs to be clean. Exactly. Then put it aside. That's a recyclable material. Then there's the PP. PP is, the that's transparent plates that's for packaging food. So that's PP.
That's PP.
Yes. So that one is also recyclable. Clean it up again, because if it's dirty, it's contaminated, it becomes difficult to recycle. So that is also recyclable. That you can send to a recycler to recycle. So for those that you can use within your house, use them. Maybe bowls, even the what do you call it now? Even the PET bottles as well. Then the oil, your gallon, your vegetable oil, the gallon, those are HDPE. They are also recyclable. Clean them up, and if you can't reuse them, keep them aside for recycling. Then for pure water nylon, the regular pure water, they are recyclable.
That's you can
LDPE.
Actually package them.
Exactly. You can pack them. So LDPE, those are LDPEs. They are recyclable. You can pack them and keep. That's I think that's particular pure water sachet is the most, it pollutes our environment way more. And you see that waste collectors don't pick those, because it's lightweight. They don't pick those. It's lightweight. And the lighter the weight, the cheaper. Right? But it's causing more environmental problems for us. So don't discard those. They are very recyclable. It's LDPE. We turn them into pellets. that can be used to produce, another form of plastic.
Oh, really?
Then the bag that's housed where they package the pure water, they have transparent, is also recyclable. Oh. Then the nylon where you use in packaging the PET bottles, like pack of water, they're also recyclable.
Okay.
You get, so these are the ones that are recyclable. Really? So you keep them. Yes, you keep those aside. If you find them within your house, even your plastic chairs, those are HDP that are broken.
They're broken.
Keep them. Those are recyclable. Cartons, papers, metals, glasses, those are recyclable as well. Wow. So you can keep those aside for recycling if there are a lot in your house and you don't need them anymore. So just clean them up and keep them, then get a recycler. What we do at Chanja, that is, we have this mobile app called Recycoin. So once you have those materials, you can, it's on Android device, so you can, from the app, request a pickup if you have a particular quantity, say from 100 kg and above, and we can come to you instead of you having to even leave your premises, because that's usually the challenge that households have. Oh, how do I move this material?
Exactly. We don't really have
so we come to you,
hubs,
pick them up. So pick them up. So even if we have up to 23 hubs in Abuja, and we're looking forward to see how we can expand those hubs so that it's easier for people to connect and be able to, recycle.
That's going to encourage, because in the long run, some people are like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then maybe after, just like I said, after putting like a whole lot for a year, and then it's either occupying space that you're trying to even manage. So you now be like, okay, where do I even take it to and all that? So maybe if we have more of these recycling hubs, it will actually encourage people to actually change the mindset of just throwing away waste and all that. So we want to continue this conversation, but let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue. So we've been talking with Gabriel Onyebolise, and he has been telling us how to actually stop throwing away waste, like learn to make money out of your waste. Let's go on this quick break, and when we come back, the program will definitely continue.
I don't know what it is, but she drives me crazy.
Marriage, a beautiful bond, but not without its battles. Behind every smile is a story. Behind every I do is a journey. Mr. and Mrs., the show that peels back the curtain on real relationships. No scripts, no filters, just truth.
I've become a better husband because I've learned a lot from the mistake of the past.
I had feelings, but I wanted to be sure.
Do I have to kneel down to marry a woman?
No, but just do the right.
Join us every week as we sit down with real couples to talk about the raw, the real, and the redemptive side of marriage. This is Modern Entertainment. It's an invitation to grow, to heal, and to love again. Mr. and Mrs. is about real love, real struggles, and real hope. Every couple has a story. What's yours? Join us on NTA Channel 5, the Unity Station, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m.
'Cause all of me loves all of you.
Hey friends, welcome to Kiddies World. My name is Oguntayo Justina.
My name is Amarderis Erison, and today we're going to start off with our usual accent, and today our exercise is sewing.
Yes, this is still Good Morning Abuja, and if you missed out on the first part of the conversation, you've not actually missed, but you've missed. But my guest is still seated there, and he still has something to tell us. We've been talking about turning waste into wealth, and he has actually told us a whole lot, but we still have some things to know. Okay, so what skills does someone need to enter before getting a recycling industry, or How do you even go about it? Like, do you actually need a skill?
A skill. Oh, yes. You do need a skill. It depends. So the recycling space is, the value chain is long.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a long value chain.
Okay.
So it depends on where you want to play within the value chain.
Okay.
Right? So it starts from collection, it starts to sorting, to processing, which have to deal with mechanical work,
exactly, I want to say, because that one, it can be manual.
Exactly. So the mechanical and engineering aspects, then it has the product, it has the sales, it has the marketing aspect, it has the logistics aspect as well, right? Then it also has the policy aspect, it has the research aspect.
Okay.
Exactly.
Research, really?
Yes, research.
Research on what to make or what to
No, not what to make. So now, trying to know what products, even to diversify.
Okay.
Because, like I mentioned, not all plastics are recyclable.
Exactly.
So what happens to the non-recyclable plastics?
Okay.
That's a research.
Okay.
That's an
Okay.
opportunity to
Okay.
try
Yeah,
to
that's true.
explore, to understand what can we do with these materials.
Okay.
Because those ones are just most times going back into the environment.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's the aspect of research as well, to fully understand what products can we make out of this that would ensure that all of these materials are now useful. Compliance is another aspect that is in the value chain as well. When we talk about, there's something called extended producer responsibility. So what that simply means is holding producers, people who produce plastic in any form, accountable to retrieve the plastics that they produce. So if a producer or a company is releasing, say, 100 tons of plastic products, like 100 tons of plastic products monthly to the consumers, they should ensure that they could recollect the 100 tons back.
Oh, really? Is it?
Yes.
Is it even possible? Okay.
So that's why it's called extended producer responsibility.
Okay.
It's possible because when we design, and it's possible, but not even if we've not yet achieved that. So you see that's an area as well in the value chain. I was just trying to explain the different areas. So from the collection, the skill you need in the area of collection is to know the wastes that are recyclable, which of the wastes are recyclable, so that you know what to collect and how to collect. Contamination is another thing, right? Those waste with oil, stains, and the likes will be difficult to recycle, right, in the process of recycling. So knowing the materials to collect, the materials that are recyclable and how to sort them, that's the skill set you need in the collection level. Then for the processing level, you are now looking at technical ability. Can you operate, the machinery?
I was going to say that, like, for an industry, the hardest part might be the mechanical part. Like, it might be easy to set up, but that particular part includes you getting funds to acquire those machines and the rest.
So that's mechanical aspects. At Chanjadati, we have different recycling machineries for processing, PET wash lines, the injector molding machine, baling machines as well. So those have people who operate them, people who are skilled, who understand how it works, and even the servicing of these machineries or repairs as well. These are skill sets that are needed. Logistics is another skill set required, because for household collections, for instance, we are using, we can't be using heavy trucks, so we use electric tricycles to carry out household collections within estates, within estates that are accessible. Apart from saving costs, it's also about carbon emission, because recycling, plastic recycling is connected with climate action or climate change. So those plastics, because when you look at how people informally manage waste, right, you see different aspects, like open disposal is one, burying is another. There are people who bury the waste. True. Then there are people who burn the waste.
That's very common.
Exactly, which is very common. Burn the waste, including plastics. So any plastic we retrieve is a potential plastic that would have been burnt and releasing carbon, to the environment. So it's also a way to reduce carbon emissions. So that's the reason in our process we're reducing as much carbon emission as possible, and that's the reason we try to use the electric tricycles for easy navigation and mobility within estates as well. So logistics is an aspect. Then the sales is another aspect. You need to have the sales and the marketing skills that when these products are out, how does it get to the market, right? Then another part is we have community engagement officers, because we need people to go into the communities to bring about awareness and get their buy-in, because most of the recycling hubs we have, some are in the city center, some are in the communities as well. So working with communities is something that we always do. We have this program called Women Recyclers Empowerment Initiative, and with that we're able to get women to get into recycling. We train them on how to collect the materials to collect, and we've seen them grow from just collection to starting up their own businesses.
Oh, really? That's good. That's
starting their own businesses. And so when we see that you're starting their business, we then go for that to train them on how to manage their business, inventory, managing finance, and then even train them on hard skills, that they would need, maybe if it's baking, maybe if it's makeup, just to ensure that, they're able to get more skilled and get more income as well while recycling in the process.
So now we've talked about skills, but we still want to know, because I know there's no store without challenges, definitely. So what are the major challenges that the recycling industry face in Abuja?
Yes, so in challenges, I think the very first one is the quality of feedstock. Right, that's the quality of the materials that come in. Again, stained materials make recycling very difficult. Materials that are stained with oil, food debris, or even dirt make the recycling process, very difficult. And so the quality of the material or the feedstock is something that is very challenging, and that's because most households, most individuals, most businesses do not recycle directly. So we want, the goal of recycling is that these materials are coming directly from households, not getting to the dump site. They shouldn't be picked up from dump sites.
Okay, so dump sites will make it harder.
Yes, because the quality drops.
So are you saying
it's already contaminated, even it's more contaminated.
At individual level, before you give it out for recycling, you should also make it clean?
Yes.
Okay, if possible.
Yes, if possible, make it clean. Because you're the one using it. When someone uses the plastic first hand, it's clean, right? So in recycling, those materials are called grade A. And that's what is really needed. Most of the producers, that's the goal, to get it back immediately instead of it going to the landfill before being picked up. Let it just go in that process. So people need to now understand that as the material is coming from the producer, it's your responsibility, take it back into the system. So that bottle, the goal is bottle to bottle recycling, that the bottle you just used can be used to make another bottle. But when it gets into landfills, right, and there's not enough facility to process it into food grade, because food grade, if maybe you are aware that a material coming from the landfill is now the bottle you're using to drink, but exactly, you wouldn't be comfortable.
I want to make an example with even these PET bottles. Most times, you see, if it's not the new one, the sealed one, people are always skeptical to say, this thing that is like this, how am I sure it's not picking from the gutter, like without cleaning? So you're always scared to make use of things like that.
Wherever it's coming from, even if it can be purified to food grade quality, right? But it's the perception for the user. It becomes difficult, right? But when you're sure that, oh, this didn't get to the landfill, it's, clean up, grade A, it just goes through the proper. So a perfect recycling process is from producer to consumer, and from consumer back to recycling.
Okay.
That's what it should be, and not to landfill,
then
to getting it being
to recycler.
Yes, it being picked from the landfill and all of that. So that's one major challenge, and that's something that we are very big on trying to profile solution or solve that problem. Is still a work in progress.
Reduce a lot of dump sites.
Yes,
possible.
exactly. We're not supposed to be having dump sites,
wow.
right? We're not supposed to have those really for a proper.
There might still be, that's like food waste now.
Food waste can also be recycled.
Food waste?
Yes. That's what
really?
I'm saying. Yes.
Okay,
so there's a whole lot. See, we're missing out on a whole lot of value.
Okay.
So waste is supposed to be minimal.
Wow.
Like very minimal. Food waste can be recycled into.
How do you store it to be recycled? Because if it has to do with taking it out to recycling hubs, how do you, because food waste, once it's bad,
so food waste is organic waste, so it's a different form of process. So in your household level, when you segregate, when you separate waste, you're separating inorganic from organic. So you have the trash that handles fully organic.
Wow.
You ensure that that trash is fully organic. Right? So the process is how it's supposed to be is that organic product, organic waste that you have generated, you're supposed to now take to your normal, if you live in an estate or anywhere, the waste bin, like the bigger one, there. It's only supposed to be your food waste, right? So within that facility, outside your house or in the streets, there's supposed to be that segregation. That this is for food waste, this is for plastic, this is for glass, this is for. It's supposed to be sorted that way. So when the collectors show up,
they know what
they collect like that. So those the food waste usually can be processed in different ways. It can be compost into manure, right? Compost. Can use it for composting. Then you can also use it for methane gas. There's a biogas. There's something called biogas. When you feed in materials into a biogas, it produces gas that you can use for cooking.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's
so methane gas. So when you go to the why the dump site is would I say toxic, or what it emits, what's emitting from a dump site that have been there for long is methane.
Okay.
It's methane. So when you go to the dump site and you dig in, that heat, all of that stuff is methane gas.
Wow.
Right? And it's contributing a whole lot to global warming, to the atmosphere, right? Which is not good. But that gas can generate heat. Like it generates power for you to cook. So there is a design in households. Households use it. And there's a design for even big restaurants where your organic waste becomes gas for you. So they build a biogas for you. So those organic waste, you just feed it into the biogas as they come. And
really,
you're using it back to cook. So no waste.
That's a good one. No waste. Like that's just wow. Okay.
So either biogas or compost as well. That's what those can be used for. You see that there is no waste that actually. No waste.
So when you have to talk of clothing, shoes, do we have use of those too?
Yes, there are fashion recycling facilities now, right?
Really?
That can turn your old clothes and refurbish them. Yes, refurbish them as well.
Nothing is really a waste. Like
nothing is really.
We should actually look into, because truly, I don't know. Maybe I'm the one learning now, but truly, we don't have the mindset of that. Making use of waste, like nothing is actually waste. Even for we to be able to recycle food waste, that means really nothing is actually a waste. That's good to know. Waste, okay, so what role should, aside other things you've told us, should residents, businesses, markets, and even government play in improving recycling in the FCT?
Yeah. So again, it's about first of all knowing that I think we place less priority on the environment.
Okay.
The value that the environment can bring. Remember when we started this conversation, we spoke about resources. Most of the resources we use are coming from the environment.
Exactly.
So what happens when we no longer have these resources? So we should think about it from that line. When you're living with someone, it's just like living with someone in the house, you know, a flatmate or something. Both of you have to find a way to live together.
Exactly.
Right? So we came to this earth living with the environment. Okay? So what we need to think about is, how do we live with this environment, you know, that we're here. So the first thing for individuals and businesses is to know that the responsibility of preserving the environment is for everyone, for every single one, and it's very important, because if you are careless about the environment, it reacts, and you wouldn't like what it feeds you.
Give you back.
Exactly. You wouldn't like what it feeds you. We're seeing flooding, and
blocked drainages.
Yes, and all that. Blocked drainages and all of that. So you wouldn't like what it gives you, because it wants to. Nature also wants to cater for itself. You know, if you do not want to cater for it, so that responsibility first is important, to know that recycling and caring for the environment is for everyone. So individuals should learn to recycle with all of the process we've explained about sorting from your level, and that's the reason at Chanja that we are making this easy through the hubs, 23 hubs we have in Abuja, through the Recycling mobile app that you can get on Android device. You know, we also have even in Jabi now a new collection center that recycling happens at source. We call it the MRP, micro recycling plant. So the waste that comes there, the plastic materials that comes there, are recycled right there in Jabi. So we're trying to see that these things are easier for these people than using electric tricycles to go within estates, within businesses, within hotels. We just need people to buy in, to know that this is a collective effort for everyone. Okay, and we're here to help, but then in helping, we also need you to collaborate. We need to collaborate with you. We need to work together. And what we do, we're not collecting these materials for free, right?
There's something.
We pay
money
per
attached
kg.
to it.
There's money attached to it. So we pay per kg, whether it's for individuals, for businesses, for restaurants, for hotels. So collecting these materials, the recyclable materials, are very, very important. Then for government, definitely it's the area of policy, right? Putting that favorable environment, and why government is putting those policies to ensure that there's this level of environmental stewardship and responsibility, both from individuals, both from businesses, and in terms of compliance. For instance, for businesses, like I mentioned, the EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility. So it's government's responsibility to now put those policies, regulations, what are required, and then the private sector, we can then work together with these big corporations, these big companies, to ensure that materials are being retrieved and then reporting back to the government.
Wow, that's
a
good one. Like, you've given us a whole lot. Like, I've learned, and I'm sure people watching at home have actually learned from this discussion. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you so much.
And I'm sure you'll come again, because we still, I know we still need to learn more. We still need to have the habit of actually not trashing, because when you say you're trashing, meaning you're wasting it. Now we need to turn that waste into wealth. So thank you for the insight.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we've been talking with Gabriel Onyebodise. He is the head of strategy and innovation, Chanja Datu Limited. He has told us a whole lot about making use of your waste to actually make wealth, and then it also helps the environment to actually stay clean and healthy, because from our conversation, you would discover that, in fact, I was even just knowing that even your food waste is something that can actually generate gas, something like I still use for cooking. So nothing is actually waste. So let's imbibe the habit of actually generating the waste and not throwing it away, making use of it, recycling it, and finding a way to actually make wealth out of it. So that was a very interesting conversation. Let's go on this quick break, and when we return, the program continues.
Are
you interested in being up to date with the pacey world of sports? Our rebranded Capital Sports is the finest bet for your doing so.
So, join us every Thursday live at 3 p.m. on NTA Channel 5 Abuja to talk sports for your viewing pleasure. Remember, you can be a part of this #1 sporting program. Join us on the analysis, views and opinions.
Welcome back. You know, we've been talking and talking. It's now time to actually relax a bit. Let's set the mood, set the tone for a beautiful day ahead with this musicals.
Girl, I been and I don't go with the flow. I know the best, yeah. Heavy, make you put it on. You're my gift to making me no. The way you act, they do me like film. And I waiting, I go gain for this life of sin, yeah. See all of them, they no jiggy jaw. Cause many girls, but you so damn
before, oh like come on, angel me go. Rama me love. Got flower already jaw. Oh, there is me jaw. Koro wa she be yo. You taba ibon on my side. Oh, buruku wa body long.
Before, oh like come on, angel me go. Rama me love. Oh, my one already me jaw.
Oh, there is me jaw. Koro wa she be yo. You taba ibon. Oh, buruku wa body long.
Mo pe, she now you be oh one go be. Sexy and rosy, yeah you can have it your way. Mami olole, shake me olole oh ah. Ibi made oh ah. Oi made oh ah.
Lovely musicals there. Hope you join in dancing, like to relax, help your body to relax more. Okay, now moving on the program is our segment. One of the segments I love most because it has to do with children. Okay, yeah, you know, our children are really creative. All they need is for you to actually guide them, show them what to do, and in fact, they will even do more than you, the teacher. Okay, so let's see this segment. What can our children do?
My name is Abdul Hakim Salman, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a replica of a paper dragon. You see everything about it here. And now, let me show you how I start. I take this end of the paper and pin it down here to make an equal of it. Then I smooth this edge down. You can see how I done it. Then you turn it to the back and smooth it. You can see. Then we'll tear off this end. We don't need it. Now we open our sheet of paper. Now you see it looks like a square. So this side is folded. Then we'll open it and fold it in the opposite direction, making an X. You see? An X. Then you fold it in half. Then you fold the other side in half. And you bend it in half again and push it forward. Now you can see how it looks like a kite or a diamond. So this upper edge that you see is open. Bend it towards this line. You do the same for every other place, front and back. Turn the back and do the same thing. Now you see how it is. Then you open one of those sides and open it and bend it. You see what I'm doing, right? You see? Now, you also do that to the other side. Now, you see this open place? You bend from this edge to the middle point. You also do that to the other side. And you turn the back and do the same thing. The other side of the back, you do the same thing. Now you see how it looks like an hairpin or a scissors. So you then open here, you see, and open the other place. You see, it is starting to look like a bat head. Then you raise this part up to meet here. You see, 1, 2, and 3. You also do that to the other side. Then you bend it how it was before. Now you can see. So you bring this out and the other place out. Now you can see, right? Then you open the front place, put it down and raise it up again. Then close it. Then raise it up. Now you can see we've made the head. Now we have to go to the tail. You bend here down, then bend it up again, and bend it down and up. So you then drag it out and do it again, and drag it again, do it, and drag it and do it. Now you see the tail has been made. Now we are going to the back. You open the wing and drag it and press the haunch down. After pressing the haunch down, you then remove this straight line and use your hand to pat it down. Now you see like a tiny wall. You then bend it on the table. Then carry one of the wings and put it down. You go to the other side and do the same thing. You carry here, put it here, and bend it down. And raise it up and bend it down. Then you do the same for the other side. Now, you've seen your paper dragon. Thank you guys for your wonderful listening and being so kind.
Oh, wow, that was really creative. We should try and encourage them more, like catch them young. Yeah, so when they start this young, you can imagine what they'll be in like how many years to come. They will actually be good at what they're actually encouraged to do right from this tender age. Okay, it's now time to know what the weather will look like, how the weather look like, so we'll prepare better. Let's see our weather forecast. Yes, that weather forecast brings us to the end of today's episode of Good Morning Abuja. I hope you had a wonderful time on the program, because I had a wonderful time. Okay, it's now time to say our bye-byes. Until we come your way again, same time, same station. I remain Gladys Kudambo Vincent, and it's bye for now.